Hey y'all, so I'm getting married in 5 months and I will be doing my own makeup. So this is the first of many trials. So what I'm doing first is prepping my brows. I always like to powder them down and then go in with my brow gel. The powder mattifies them for any moisturizer that I may have used on my face. And then the gel is just gonna mold them down and hold them into place. And you speed up the process by getting you a miniature fan. I'm using some concealers to prep my eye space for my shadows. The concealers are from Juvia's Place. I'm using the shade 11 actually, and I mix it in with a little bit of 13 as well. But I carve out the bottom of my brows, drag that concealer down to my lid space, blend that out, and then I will be setting it using a loose setting powder because you don't want the concealer to move. Now the look that I'm going for is something very soft glam, very soft, very much brown. So I'm taking my bronzer also from Juvia's Place, and notice how I put the bronzer near that nose, near the bridge of the nose, and I'm kind of flaring it out. I love how my shadows look when I do that. It just brings everything together and makes everything look so uniform. I took a lighter shade and blend out around the edges of that bronzer, and then took a darker, deeper shade of brown into the crease area, and then I will be putting some shimmer onto my lid space, as you can see right there. And I will be adding maybe a tad bit more glitter onto the lid space just to open the eyes up some. Placed a brown liner using an angled brush. Very snatched. Yeah. Get you some good mascara for your wedding day, and also invest in half lashes. If you don't have half lashes, cut your natural strip lashes in half. You don't need the full lash because I promise you it ain't gonna look good in pictures. Now, for primer, I'm using Milani's primer, and I use the Jelly Pop primer from e.l.f. I like using two primers, one to blur out my skin because I like for the center of my face to be blurred, and I like using a gripping primer because it just helps with making the makeup last a little bit longer and also adding some glow. I will color correct, and now I'm color matching. So for my foundation, I will be matching it with my body. I recommend, highly recommend, you match your foundation to your body, especially if you are exposing your body. I repeat, match it to your body. And by the way, that foundation is from NARS in the shade Macao, but I added a white pigment to lighten it. Now, to blend out my foundation, I will be using a brush that I spray with some Morphe setting mist in the gold can. I just do that for hydration, and it also helps with making the foundation just blend more smoother. And then I go back in with a damp sponge, not a wet one, but a damp one, because I want to pick up any excess foundation. Now I'm bronzing the skin using the matchsticks from Fenty Beauty in the shade Espresso. I do it on the forehead, I go to the temple, and then I do it along my cheeks. I blend upwards whenever I'm doing the cheeks, and then I'll do in my chin and my jawline, and I drag it down when I'm doing the jawline.